My name is Leo Connors, and welcome to The Ring and all other sports. We had no show last week, but this week we got a very special show. My special guests are my good friends, Dave Fournier, Damon Farrar. Guys, how are you?
Great.
Doing great.
Long time no see.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah. Guys, we just spent the weekend and some of the week at the Gathering in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Gathering
the
three.
Gathering 3. Damon's been to all 3. I've been to 2. Dave's only been to 1. But we're going to change that next year.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Guys, what a great time, huh? Seriously?
Oh,
I had
Amazing.
high expectations. Sorry, Damon. I had high expectations, and it exceeded those.
Right. Well, we told you how much fun. We knew. Damon, what did I tell you on that ride home? I said, we got to bring Dave next year. Because I knew how much fun he had.
Yeah, and sure enough.
It was a good time. So it all started off on Wednesday. Is when Damon picked up Dave.
Yes.
And then they came and picked me up, and we took a very short 16-hour drive to North Carolina. Yeah. But we did, how many hours did we drive before we
stopped in West Virginia, Motel 6, West Virginia.
Yep.
And then finished the drive next day.
And what time did we stop? Do you know when we got the room? It was at night. I know it was dark out.
Like 9:30, 10 o'clock, somewhere around there.
A lot of fun, guys. But luckily, Damon, I didn't bring a notebook or anything because I figured we'd just talk off the top of my head. But Damon brought the whole itinerary. So we'll just start off right here. Welcome to the Gathering 3 weekend. 2 to 6, registration open, pick up tickets and stuff, VIP materials and more. At 4 o'clock, they had that Apter chat, which confused me because I thought it was a chat with Bill Apter hosted by Tommy Young, but it was the opposite. Yes. It was Bill Apter hosting Tommy Young.
Correct.
And then they had a big barbecue pool party where we lost Dave as a friend. Because Dave turned around and said, screw Leo and Damon, I'm hanging with Tiger Chung Lee.
Dumped us for Tiger Chung Lee.
Just like that.
Darn.
No, but we're just joking. But I sat with Dave, too. We had a blast. Tiger Chung Lee was phenomenal.
Great.
Who did you sit with at the barbecue?
Fantastic's Bobby Fulton.
Wow, what a great guy.
Some great stories.
Yeah.
Amazing, yeah.
And we know Bobby had a stroke a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But it's great to see him there every year and see how exciting he is.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun. It was, he was. I didn't talk to him much the first couple.
Right.
First couple times there. I spent a lot of time with him this week. And what was good was at the barbecue Thursday, I talked to him like the whole time. He was there for like an hour and a half. And then Saturday morning at breakfast, I walk in, I sit right next to him at the table, and he's sitting with Stan Hansen, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, and Ronnie Garvin. Wow. And he kind of just, he remembers me, he goes, Damon, and he includes me in the conversation. All of a sudden, I'm eating breakfast in the morning with Stan Hansen, Jimmy Garvin, Ronnie Garvin, and
legends.
And Bobby Fulton. It was pretty cool.
And Stan was the one I was most excited to see because I had met him before and got my picture of me and him signed. It was fantastic. No pun intended with Bobby Fulton.
Right.
And Jackie Fulton.
Yep. And I had Stan sign my book, too. I had a book and had him sign that.
Yep. And so then after that, there was a Q&A with Eddie Shockey, but we didn't go to that.
No.
We didn't. Nothing against Eddie Shockey. We just didn't go.
I was hanging out with my friend Tiger Chung Lee at that point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We lost you.
You guys are like this.
Me and Damon went up to the room. We were relaxing. Finally, I said, I think I'm going to go downstairs and see what's going on. And sure enough, there was Dave hanging with Tiger Chung Lee.
Yes. And later,
in April, and who else?
Later in the night, Stan Hansen and Ted DiBiase were there. April was the second night with Bushwhacker Luke.
Oh, okay.
But
that was the night you were a little drunk, Dave.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But you know what amazed me with this was just how interactive the wrestlers were when the event wasn't going on.
Yes.
I mean, everybody was just super nice.
Yep. Any interactions that we wouldn't know you had, like bumping into somebody? Like I know I told you about my little one with Shane Douglas, but would you guys have any of those little, like real quick, like bumping into somebody?
I ran into Shane Douglas in the elevator.
Yeah.
A couple people, Ken Patera in the elevator. That was going on.
I think I was with you with Ken Patera in the elevator.
Okay.
We were going down.
Who else? There's a couple other wrestlers in there too.
And that Baron.
Yep,
Baron was there. We'll go through all the wrestlers after.
Absolutely.
But so they had the live Marty party, they had karaoke going on and stuff. And I didn't do any karaoke this year.
Me either.
But I remember running into a guy, and he was a wrestler. I can't remember who he was. But he told me that last year, just before I started singing my song at karaoke, he walked in the room, and for some reason, I know I was drunk. So I said, Triple H has entered the room, and he looked at me and he said, when you said that, I just put my head down.
And Leo, I know our good friend Sonny Goodspeed, who's probably watching right now, will appreciate this, but Tiger Chung Lee did karaoke, and I was hanging out with him. Just saying.
You took a video of it.
Yes.
And because that's a good thing, because I didn't know a word he was saying, because he sang in Chinese.
Yes.
Or Japanese. Was it Chinese or Japanese?
He's Korean.
He's Korean, so he spoke in Korean.
Wow.
Wow, that's right. I thought he was Japanese.
I knew he was Korean.
Oh, well, thank God you're here.
Wow.
So then Friday,
Yeah.
get up in the morning, you went for breakfast. You went for breakfast.
Yes.
I slept.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of the day, at 8 o'clock to 5 p.m. registration would be open.
Yeah.
You pick up your tickets, your VIP materials, your photo ops, your pro photo ops, and your autograph tickets. And then the Gathering 3 opens to the VIP and general admission ticket holders for the photos and stuff. And then at 9, it's 9 to 5, right? When they
9 to
open up
5,
the hall
yeah.
where everybody is.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
That's the big hall where all the vendors have all the guests.
Yes.
And then from there, we did all the photo. Well, you guys did. Dave, I should say.
I didn't do
Yeah,
any.
he did them all.
Dave did almost every single photo opportunity. Who didn't you get? That's better to say than who you got. Who
didn't I get?
you get? You didn't get Vampiro.
I didn't
You
get
just said
Vampiro. I didn't do the Nitro Girls.
that. Yep.
Well, Bret Hart.
And I didn't do Bret Hart because Bret Hart, I didn't realize was like only available through high spots. And by the time they were bringing him into the room,
Yeah.
the guy was like, "Oh, it's too late. Like we only had a limited number." So
He had a giant line, too.
And I've
He
met him
really
before,
did.
so-
Oh, you did.
I just met him a couple months ago, so
Right.
I had nothing left for him to sign anyway.
Right.
So I was like,
But so instead of going through all the photos and things like
yeah,
that,
we don't need to go through
Do you
those.
have any stories from any of your photos that you took, like just interacting with guys? Tell about some of your funny photos. I know you took some funny photos.
the two that stand out, there was one with the Mountie Jacques Rougeau,
Yes.
who actually, and he's, this was a great. They came up with the ideas for the shots. It wasn't like you said, "Oh, let's do this." They would be like, so he said, "You want me to shock you with the
Cattle prod.
cattle prod?" And so he said, "Yeah." So he just held it against my neck, and then I could, made
Yeah,
the
you
face
made
line.
the face.
So that was one of my favorite ones. And then Baron von Raschke, funny story. While we were there, unfortunately, my glasses broke.
Did you get him fixed yet?
I did not yet.
Okay.
Today I just didn't have
Yep,
time.
no problem. Sure, I'd ask.
But Baron von Raschke, he says, "Oh, I'll put you in the car." And he says, "Don't worry about the glasses." And now he didn't know, obviously, they were broken. But
Right.
also I'm like, and he pulls them off my head and he like kicks them and goes like this with the claw with the glasses. And I'm going, "They're already broken." Thankfully, he didn't do any more damage.
Right.
So that was probably the funniest story from him. But just a super nice. Sandman wasn't very happy when I took my photo op with him. I had a
Yeah.
Celtic shirt on
And then you went back for a second one.
with the autograph.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, he's a
Sandman gave him
76ers
crap
fan.
again. Sandman looked like he was wearing some concealer. I'm sorry, Sandman. But it did. It looked like he had a little makeup on.
yeah, 'cause
But
he's
no big
pretty
deal.
pale.
Yeah, he's pretty pale,
he's pale.
but very nice.
Yeah.
I loved it how he gave Dave crap about the Celtic shirt again, though.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. Dave wasn't smart enough to change the shirt.
Yeah, that
Gotta
was the
give
biggest
him-
rivalry back in the 80s. Celtics Sixers.
Celtic Sixers.
More
Oh, yeah.
so than the Celtics Lakers.
Yeah, because we played them every single
Yeah.
year in the playoffs.
And
every
we played
year.
them division rivals.
Yeah.
We played several times during the year too.
And they were a good team,
Yeah,
too,
that was huge.
back then.
Yeah.
In the 80s. Mo Cheeks, Dr. J was still
Bobby
there.
Jones.
Bobby Jones, yeah. Who else was on
first
that team?
Gerald Dawkins. Then when he left, they got Moses Malone.
Yep.
Then Barkley.
They were a
He
good
came
team.
in like '84.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. So we did that. And then anybody that you were excited to meet in the vendors room, guys? Who did you,
Oh, Tori Wilson.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
No doubt.
Yeah, and she was the last one whose Playboy issue I hadn't got signed yet. So it was nice to get that signed.
Nice.
Now I got to custom frame them all because now I got them all.
Right. So the first picture that I took was with the very hot and vivacious glamour girls. They're only 66 and 62 now, not too much older than me. I like older women.
They were awesome back in the
I hope it
80s.
stops soon. Because, no, but really, as I leaned in, they were sitting in chairs to get them. I said, I get to have this picture with you beautiful ladies. They were so happy. They were so nice.
Yeah.
So I did the combo with them where I got a picture and I got them to sign an 8x10.
Nice.
So it was excellent.
So we met.
That was the first one I met. Who was the first guys you met that day?
Well, let me say. Oh, that day. Well, it was Tori Wilson.
Yeah.
And then Kimberly Page. That was. Oh, wow. Still looks great.
Unbelievable. Her and Tori Wilson were both drop dead. I
Absolutely.
mean, they still look.
Francine, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
I was in heaven.
Yeah. Miss Jacqueline was there. She's
Looks good,
very
too.
small.
Yeah.
She's very, very small.
Yeah, you can.
You can tell, she's not pumping the weights because she ain't wrestling no more and stuff. But I was very
Sweetheart.
surprised.
She's
how
a
small.
sweetheart.
She is. She's very nice.
Gorgeous signature. Her
Yeah.
signature was like just awesome. And the other one, the best signature there, I thought was Precious Paul Ellering.
That was a good one too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love his signature. I was like.
But so I got to meet the Baron, Ken Patera. I mean, you guys met them also, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Very nice guys. Yeah. I had heard and seen in interviews that Patera wasn't that nice of a guy. But man, that was
nice now.
He certainly was.
Yeah.
He was fantastic.
Yeah.
I was telling him about how many magazines I went through, all my magazines, and how many of them where he was on the cover. And he was blown away. He's like, then he says to me, he goes, there was a span about 6 or 7 years ago that honestly, I might have been on more covers than anybody. And you said it too.
Yes.
Before we even went, you said, wow, Leo, you're right. Because I told you how many magazines I had of Patera. And you were like, you too. You only had so many magazines, but you had a bunch of them with him on the cover.
I did.
He's also the first person ever to military press 500 pounds.
Yes.
Right?
1972 Olympian.
Yeah.
Too. Because I asked him, I said, was it 72? He said yes. But what a great guy he really was. And Baron, too.
Yeah.
Baron had me do the claw thing with our picture. But he signed a magazine for me that he was on the cover and stuff. I got a couple of covers signed, one by Francine.
Yeah.
Him. Tito signed one for me, or as Jesse Ventura likes to call him. Chico. Fantastic, though. What do you guys think about it? Like meeting those guys, like Tito and...
Tito
was that the first time you met Tito?
No, I met him a few years back at Top Rope. Brought him in.
Okay. What about you?
Tito was, I've met him way back in the late 90s when he used to work independent shows a lot. But he was the first one I met on that Friday morning because he was the first photo op.
Right.
Tremendous guy. As always. I mean, I can't think of anybody who wasn't nice at this event.
Yeah.
Right. I remember you telling me you were going down there in the morning. I said, I think I'm going to sleep another hour because I didn't have any pro photo ops, to be taken. So I said, screw it, I'll just sleep another hour.
Well, Friday morning I saw Tugboat in there. I bought him breakfast.
Yep.
He was all psyched.
Yeah. Now, and then when you met,
I didn't tell him I bought it, but like when he was, I kind of just told the waitress, give him, give him my check, and then when I went through his line, I go, hey, how was the omelet this morning? He goes, he goes, thank you so much.
That's cool.
He was trying to figure out who did it. And I told Jim I had done it,
but you had the shirt with all of his characters, and I thought that was great because when you took a picture and posted it afterwards, and he was posting like looking at it like, yeah, look at that shirt.
Oh yeah. And the Scott Norton shirt too.
Yes.
That was one of my. I think I was looking forward to that photo up the most. Scott Norton and Noah the Barbarian, the Yukon Lumberjacks.
Yeah. Who was there last year too and was so nice both times.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Even thanking us for being there.
Right.
Like we're sitting there saying, thank you, it's great to see you. And he's like, no guys, thank you, it's great to see you guys.
He was the one. He was either next to us or a couple doors down from us.
Yes. Yep.
What if he was the one that was complaining about it being too loud?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That was weird.
I have to go straighten him out.
That was really weird because we weren't that loud, dude.
I didn't think so either.
I didn't think so either.
Well, we both talk loud. So I think they just heard us talking and said, hey, they're fighting in there.
I didn't even hear about this. John Nord complained about you being too
loud.
No,
we don't think it was John, but somebody did because they knocked on our door telling us we were too loud. And I looked at Damon and I'm like,
I was going to say, John Nord of anybody saying somebody being loud?
Yeah, complain about anybody else being loud.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great guy.
So, and then that Friday night, that was when we had the A Night to Remember banquet dinner and award ceremony. Doors opened at 7. It said 6:30 here, but it did not open until after 7. Yes. We had chicken, beef, potatoes, broccoli, a medley of broccoli and carrots, which I thought were fantastic. I did. Dude, it was really good too.
Vegetables get pushed to the side.
Oh my God, they were so good. They really were. Potatoes, and then we had chocolate cake and cheesecake at the end. I brought a couple pieces up to my room.
You get one of each. Yeah.
But food was good.
Yeah,
food was excellent.
Now we all got to sit at a table with people. So let's start with Dave. Dave, you sat with.
I actually got a little bonus in mine. I had Ricky Morton which was my first pick, and that's who I sat with. His son, who has recently started wrestling, also sat at the table with us. Kerry. So I got a chance to kind of sit, and I actually sat right next to Kerry, and then Ricky was right next to him, and just, enjoy talking with both of them. Ricky's obviously passed on a lot of great advice to Kerry because he was super polite and just super interactive with everybody. But a really great time. Ricky Morton was making some funny jokes, some that I won't repeat on the air here just because people involved at the gathering probably don't want to hear those jokes on the air, but
good stuff, huh?
Oh yeah, fun time, fun night.
Any story that you remember that he told that you're like, wow, I didn't know this?
There really wasn't a lot of I think we talked more non-wrestling that night, as opposed, it was more about where are people from. He told a couple stories about, back when he was working, for Crockett and the Great American Bash Tour, but nothing that I hadn't personally heard before.
Okay. And Damon, you sat with
Jeff Jarrett, And
recently
re-signed with WWE,
Yes.
He had some great stories. He was fun to talk to. We talked a little about what's going on. Somebody had said, there's no heels out there anymore, and I'm like, there's no big heels. I'm like, MJF and Theory. I looked at him, and it's really talking up Theory, and Jarrett just looked at me and goes, you ain't kidding. he goes, he's awesome. He was like,
that's great.
Yeah, he's huge on Theory. That's what I.
And it's great to see Jeff as part of the WWE, honestly, because the guy's very knowledgeable about wrestling. I mean, he grew up in the business. Dad's Jerry Jarrett,
right?
Which leads me into me real quick.
And his Q&A too. His Q&A was fantastic.
His dad too was like when we went through the line, which was his was Saturday. Was his Saturday?
They're both Saturday.
Yeah, they were Saturday. And as I went through the line, I told him, I said, to this day, I still watch Memphis Wrestling weekly. I'll just go to YouTube, put in Memphis Wrestling, whatever video I feel like watching, I watch. And I watch it every week. And he said that's the best compliment anyone could give him, that people still watch the stuff that he booked so many years ago. I was very excited to meet Jerry Jarrett. Yeah. So I thought that was fantastic. And I sat with Kevin Sullivan.
Nice.
And he told lots of stories. And there was one guy that sat with us. He was with his daughter, and I thought it was really fantastic because as a father, this girl was going to college next year. She's going to Hofstra. And there she is with her dad at this wrestling event. And you could tell she really, she's on her phone the whole time, but she still went with them. Yeah. I thought that was fantastic that her dad got this, spend some quality time like that with his daughter, whether she really wanted to be there or not. Yeah. She was there for him, and he was a really nice guy. I wish I could remember his name. I met so many people. I can't remember anybody's name. I'm really bad with that. I really am. Immediately. I even went to Dave at one point. I said, hey, Dave, next time we see that guy, introduce yourself. He goes, oh, you mean Raymond? Yeah. I was like ready to have Dave get me the guy's name. He already knew the name. I should have known that, though.
But Raymond's one I just remembered. There's so many, even from this weekend.
Arthur and Michelle.
Yeah.
They were fantastic.
Yeah, great.
We met April.
Yes, yeah.
April was fantastic.
There was another gentleman, Van, that I met in the photo rooms. Spent a lot of time talking with him. There was actually some people from Boston. I don't even know what their first names were.
I only know one, Dominic. I remember he said his name was Don. For some reason, I ran, probably because he's Italian and Maria's Italian. That's probably why I remembered it, honestly.
There's Scott, but I don't even know if it's Benoit or Benoit.
Right.
Benoit. Instinctively, you want to say Benoit, but...
I went to school with a girl named Carolyn Benoit.
Okay.
So, spelt the same way. So, like you said, you don't know.
Yep. Now, I met him at the first gathering, and come to find out, we live like 2 streets apart in Drake.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. So next year he might be riding with us.
Yeah, and you were talking about maybe getting a van.
Yeah, talking about
an SUV or something like that.
We'll have to figure out. Maybe we might have to get 2.
Yeah.
Whoever.
Well, we're hoping a whole bunch of people
figure it
will
out.
go. We know Scott Anthony Shooter wants to go. He wasn't able to go this year, but he definitely said he wants to go next year, and I'd love to go. Shooter, he loves old school wrestling.
I've talked to him.
Me and him want to do a thing on Facebook where like a half-hour show, maybe once a week or something, just talk old school wrestling, pick a promotion. Oh, this week will be on Pacific Northwest or, Vancouver or wherever. Just think it would be kind of fun to do, especially with a guy as knowledgeable as Scott.
Absolutely.
He's very, very knowledgeable. All right. So then Saturday night there was that the night I was in the bar with you? Saturday night
was the night. But before we move on, Leo, we talk about the banquet, the ceremony that was going on.
Please.
highlight for me, and I know probably nobody else will disagree with, was Bill Apter doing his little Barry Manilow.
I thought that was great. I loved it. He did really good. He can sing.
He can sing. Yeah. And one of the nicest guys of the whole weekend.
Yes, yes.
I remember first encountering him, introduced myself, and then I saw him probably 20 minutes later, and I called him Mr. Apter, and he goes, "We're going to be here all weekend. Will you stop calling me Mr. Apter?"
Said the same to me. He said, like, "My name is Bill."
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, I had a hard time with that because I was a magazine kid, man. I had so much love for Bill Apter growing up.
Yeah,
you know,
really,
I really did.
Yeah.
I love the guy, and he was so nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. And now, Damon, there's something. He said he wasn't there last year, but wasn't he there for a short time?
He might have been.
I could have swore I saw him for one day there.
I thought he was there last year too. I mean, and I thought he was there the first year.
Right.
I'm not sure. I mean, Kevin Resnick's been there all 3 years.
Right. I'm pretty positive that he was there the first year I
think
went.
he was too.
But I don't think he was there the whole weekend. I think he popped in one day, maybe Saturday or Sunday. But I'm pretty positive I saw him because everybody told me, don't really bring up that, don't call them after magazines. You don't like that. So I knew not to. I'll just told after magazines, I love your magazines. That's all I said.
He only had 2 copies of his book, so I'm just going to have to just buy it online. You know what I mean?
It's a great book.
And
I let you want to borrow it, you don't even have to buy it. I'll let you borrow it.
I like to keep it.
I was going to say, it's a good book. I read it right away. Yeah. It's very, very, it's hard to put it down. Because it's really not a thing where, where he's going through his whole life. Yeah. It's more like a wrestling story to a wrestling story, correct?
Yes, Al, absolutely.
I bought a couple books. You bought a couple. What books did you buy? Then we'll ask you next, Dave.
I bought Nikita Koloff's book. I bought J.J. Dillon's book. And then I bought George South's second book. Yeah, I spoke to him for a while. I was talking to him. I'm halfway through his book now.
Yeah.
So, I was telling him some stuff. Well, we talked a little about the book. Actually, I was talking for like 20 minutes on
easy guy to
Sunday
talk
morning.
to.
Real easy guy to talk to. Huge Cowboys fan.
You were telling me that, yeah.
I was big on the Cowboys in the 90s. Aikman's my all-time favorite.
Great quarterback.
Right behind Brady.
Great quarterback. We were talking about that on the ride home, how great of a team some of these quarterbacks really had. Yeah. That people don't realize, because they just go,
They just look at the numbers. People that never saw Aikman play look at his numbers and think, he's not even a top 100.
Yeah.
Couldn't be more wrong.
Couldn't be more wrong.
Couldn't be more wrong.
And then we were talking about Denver and Elway.
Right. Elway took 3 teams that had no business going to the Super Bowl.
And they got whooped.
Yeah, they got clobbered.
And then they came back and won a couple.
He got a running back and he made it look easy. Winning Super Bowls. Davis. Yeah. It's like...
there's so many. I love talking about football with you, though, because I know how much, because you know what I mean. He knows so much.
I think I might know more about football than wrestling, actually.
Well, you probably do.
It's close. Those are my 2 favorites.
But I mean, each team with these running backs back in the day, every team that won a Super Bowl, except for maybe the Patriots one year where they didn't really have a named run. James White played great in those Super Bowls, but he wasn't a name yet. He didn't have that name.
Brady did it with the least amount of help.
Yes.
No, I shouldn't say that. Least amount of big names.
Right. But you got the first couple, the defense won those. They had better defenses. That's why we were in the Super Bowls. Right. Don't get me wrong, Brady obviously too. But our team was more defensive oriented. And I mean, those teams were Rodney Harrison.
Yeah,
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, because you look at Brady's numbers,
Teddy
they're not as good as they were.
All those guys, right? Richard Seymour.
Yeah.
We had a great defense back then. Yeah. All right. So also on that thing, Dave, they gave an award to Kevin Sullivan.
Yes.
Who else?
Nikita Koloff. Rock and Roll Express.
Yep. Who was the main event? Was that the Rock and Roll?
Rock and Rolls were the last one.
The last
Peggy Latham.
Peggy
Latham, who I did meet last year.
Yeah, she was there last year.
She was very, very nice old lady, and then she passed away.
Yeah.
That was really sad, man. I honestly, truly, I got a little misty-eyed when they were talking about her.
NWA fan ever, they said.
Yeah. I wonder if she's related to Larry Latham. You know who Larry Latham is? Moondog Spot.
Oh.
Okay.
Moondog Spot. That was his other name. Him and Wayne Ferris were the, what was the name of the tag team?
That one I don't know.
I know it too.
Hunky Dogs?
They should have been the Honky Tonks. But like you were talking about how like we would like to see different people. We won't say bring anything up, but the guys that you were talking about coming up with that we'd love to see at the gathering. Now
it was great seeing Adam Baum. He
looked fantastic.
All the way from 3 Mile Island.
Didn't he look great?
He looked great. Yeah.
Kevin Sullivan was very small.
Yeah.
I was very surprised. Like seriously, I mean he's Very short.
I mean, he's what, 76 now?
What a great
77?
guy, though.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Real
being
nice
able
guy.
to sit there and tell him where I was from, he liked me right away. Because he's from there, he's from Mass, born in Mass. Yeah. And I also told him we had a mutual friend in George Carroll. And he said, "Oh, I love George."
That's awesome.
George's like, "Make sure you tell him that we're friends and you know me." I said, "I will." Of course, I'm dropping names. Tony S., I'm dropping names. Tony S., I don't think you really heard. He was giving me crap. Me and Dave were standing there when you went to go fill up the car with all the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Stevens?
Yeah, I was dropping names. Okay. I was saying who I had on my show.
Yeah.
And he's like, Leo dropping names. And Michelle, Arthur's better half, said, I think it's because Tony's jealous and wants to be on the show. And I had to agree with her.
But Tony said he's not Carmelo Hayes level, so he can't be on the show.
Yeah, he said he's not Carmelo Hayes level, Anthony Green level. And I mean, he's right.
I think
just kidding.
Tony's
great.
Arthur and Michelle would be great to have on the show.
They would. They're great people. And Tony's great, too. It's great to see him refereeing on the shows. Yeah. Last year, me and Damon got to see him referee the NWA World Title match.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say that we and you were very happy for him. We were really happy for him. We knew how much it meant.
Versus Trevor Murdoch.
Yeah. And we knew how much it meant to Tony.
Yeah.
Even though he likes to give me crap, it's okay.
Another guy we saw, Leo, that actually brought up a Boston reference on the last day there, who hosted the banquet, Ken Resnick of AWA and WWF fame.
Tell him what he said.
He loved my shirt.
He did. Yeah. He loved his shirt.
Yeah.
When I was, saying, "Oh, I'm getting ready. We're driving back to Boston," he goes, "Let me tell you something about Boston." He's like, first time, he goes, I went to Boston. I was all excited. I was going to do the announcing with Gorilla Monsoon for the house show on Ness. And he goes, I walked into the building, and what a bleeping dump that place was.
and then Dave agreed with him.
He's not wrong.
Yep, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. But come on, Ken, be nice to the Boston Garden. It was a legendary building.
Well, that's what it was. He had heard all the legends of the building, and then he walks in there and sees it, and is just like, "What is this?"
And Fenway's a dump, to be honest with you.
I mean, the field itself looks good.
Yeah.
But the park itself, yes. Oh, absolutely.
It should be blown up.
You can smell urine everywhere you go, practically, in that place.
And have seats made for like the regular size guy.
Right. Right.
Well, when it was built, the average guy was 5'3", 130 pounds.
Right. Not anymore.
No.
The average guy's 200 pounds practically nowadays. But it was a lot of fun. I had a blast. Like you said, I had left. I didn't see the Rock and Roll Express. I didn't even really know they were getting one, so I kind of really bummed out when I found out.
Yeah, they were the last ones.
Yeah, they were the last ones.
I was definitely.
Baby
I should have
Doll
asked
inducted them.
the people, who they were gonna be. I didn't even know they were honoring Kevin. I knew they were honoring Nikita.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were honoring Kevin. I had no idea.
No.
Matter of fact, I had left. Remember when I went up to you?
Yeah.
I had sat behind you afterwards. I left the table to go to the bathroom, and somebody was speaking. So I didn't want to walk all the way to back up because we were in the front row.
Right.
So I stayed out back. And I remember one of the guys said to me, the guy that had his daughter, I wish I could remember his name. But he's like, "What happened to you?" I said, "Oh, when I left, when I came back, they were speaking. So I just sat out back. I didn't want to, cause any, commotion or anything walking to the front." But what a great event. Nikita was phenomenal. Telling everybody, you buy my new book because it has new chapters, he'd sign it for free.
Yep.
Not many people would say that. Honestly, Nikita was great. Now, I had heard a story about him while we were there, too.
Not once did he go into his Russian accent either. Unbelievable.
Right? Somebody told me that when he was doing the gimmick, it still to this day on one of his daughter's birth certificates, it says his birthplace was Lithuania.
Wow.
That's how much he lived that gimmick. Wow. It's the only person I know from Lithuania besides one of my best friends growing up, Ed Robin, Ray Norton, their mom, Elena. She was from Lithuania, and their grandmother, Babut, lived with them. And Babut was like in her 90s, and one time we put a tent in her yard, and all of a sudden one day we hear these things hitting the tent. We're like, "Let's go." We look outside, we can't see nothing. Again, so this time we're ready though, because we knew. So we were right at that thing. As soon as we looked, we caught Babut, 90 years old, throwing crab apples at our tent. Like 7 o'clock in the morning. What a great lady. It's the only people I know from Lithuania, besides Nikita Koloff, who's really from what?
Minnesota.
Minneapolis, Lithuania?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yes. And here's his book for anybody who might
Yes.
look for it. You know,
That's the one with the new chapters, right?
he actually had 2 separate books. So they have this one here.
Yep.
They also have his other book, which is 2 different titles.
Damon, which is the first one? The yellow one?
Well, they're 2 different books.
Right. They are. Okay.
I bought this one.
Yep.
Not thinking this was a different book. Otherwise, I thought it was the same book. That's why I didn't bother buying
But
it.
you bought the
So
other one.
I'll buy the yellow one at some point.
So now with the
Probably
white
next
one,
summer.
is that the one with the new chapters?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had bought the first one too.
No,
right?
I didn't buy the
Oh,
first
you didn't
one.
buy
No.
it. So you got it. No,
No,
you didn't have it.
I bought 2 of those white ones.
Nice. And
Well,
you're gonna
chances are my brother's probably not watching this, so I got him one signed to him for Christmas.
listen. Why aren't you watching? What's your brother's name?
Travis.
Travis. Come on, man. Your brother's on the show. I don't care
Yeah.
about me. My show's all about my guests, even if we're all just wrestling fans and there's no wrestlers.
And Travis,
all about you guys.
You should join us for the gathering. I think you'd love it.
I think he would. If he liked wrestling,
He
even
likes
if he doesn't
wrestling.
like wrestling now.
Yeah.
If he liked it back then.
Travis, let's go, man.
Last year I got him a Dr. D. David Schultz signed book. He was psyched.
Nice. Yeah, you were so excited to meet him last year.
Yeah.
That was the guy you kept talking
Yes.
about last year.
Yeah, I have.
Was
Yeah.
David Schultz.
Yeah.
And you learn, like I went last year and I did a few things. I did a little bit more this year. I'm not, I didn't want to get a million pictures with people, you know what I mean? Because I like the time to just relax and go around. But I will next year do a little bit more. Each year when I go, I'm going to do a little bit more each year. You know what I mean? Because it's so much
Well,
fun.
I'm going to do something different each year. I think.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
because when you go all photographs, photo ops. Now you do all autographs. Just
Right.
Eventually, you're going to run out of people to meet. That's what
True.
I noticed. I noticed that the more things I go to, it's like, I've already met him. I've already met her. Damn, I already
Well,
met
that's
him.
because you go everywhere.
So it's like,
Damon goes everywhere
he
to
does.
meet
Yes.
everybody, man. There's an obscure hockey player on a Sunday morning. Guarantee you Damon's going to be there getting that autograph, his book, a signed picture, or whatever. It's true.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Danny McClain's coming around again. And I promised
Really?
myself I'd buy his book.
The last 30 game win.
Yeah, last time I saw him, I bought an 8x10 and a photo op with him. I'm thinking, I'm kicking myself not buying his book.
Right.
So if he's there with his book, I'm buying it.
How many years did he do in prison? He went to prison, didn't he? Danny McClain?
I don't know.
I think he did something. Yeah, I'm almost positive. We'll talk after. This isn't about Danny McClain. This is about the
the
Gathering
Gathering.
3.
Talking, like Damon had mentioned, like this year I did a lot of photo ops.
Yeah.
Next year I would definitely do different because I spent most of my time in that photo. Not that
Right.
I'm glad I did because
Right.
what I kind of really wanted to do this time. But next year I'd have a little different strategy so I could kind of do a little bit more of the autographs.
Yeah,
and
you're
give
just
them a better-
chilling out too, because like
And
you were
just
saying,
I didn't
you
have-
were saying you were like
my
so
days were
hot
pretty
in
much
the rooms
hot in
because
the
you were in those rooms all day.
my day pretty
and
much-
20 people in those rooms, even with the AC
Yeah.
on, it gets hot after a while.
Yeah.
And
It
like I'm
does.
sure like you guys doing some of the autograph stuff probably had time in between. So I
Oh,
really
yeah.
had no time. Like I was in that autograph room and one would end and the next one would be starting 10 minutes later and you have to get in line for the next
Right.
one. So you just kind of just stuck there like
With me not doing any pro photo ops, I was able to go downstairs, get something signed, go back upstairs, put it away, grab the next thing, go
Yep.
back. That's why I didn't have
That's
to
what I kept
carry
doing.
everything
Yeah.
around.
and that's
Up,
about
down, up, down, up. Yeah.
that's about all I had time to do in between photo ops is if I got a pro photo as opposed the one with my phone. If it was
Yeah.
a pro photo, run it upstairs and come right back down for the next one.
Now, let's thank the guy who runs this thing,
T. Marty.
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 Yeah.
Unbelievable.
D'Amato, yeah.
What a great
Amazing.
event. Thank you for putting on
Yeah.
such a fantastic
And watch
event.
the show. We'll tag you in it.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, please. We definitely are. We're all going to be there.
You'll be
Every
there
year
next
we're going to
year.
try to bring more and more
Yep.
people.
Joe Madruga,
Yes.
Rob Aslan, both of you guys come with us. The 2 guys I work with. Like I said,
Joey
you and Rob,
Eastman?
you and Rob would hit it off.
Joe Eastman,
talking
I
about
seen
it.
you talking to Dave today.
Yep.
You
He
really should come. It's
Yeah.
so you would. Oh
You'd
my!
love it.
And,
And even
a lot of
anybody-
the guys he probably already knows
bring
from
Sydney,
being in the
too.
business.
Not necessarily going with us, but anybody watching the show,
Right.
if they have that interest, should definitely.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. You don't have to come with us if you don't like us. That's
You don't have to
okay.
hang out with us if you
You
don't
don't have to
want
hang
to.
around with us.
But going back to Marty, I personally can't believe how how well run it was.
Yeah.
And even like because I had gotten so many photo ops and we had those 2 signatures with the super ticket guests, there are a few people I didn't have an opportunity to get on the super ticket. And he was nice enough. He asked me, he said, "Did you have your time?" When I told him I didn't.
Right.
He actually got me some pictures signed. They weren't personalized, but signed by some of the people I missed.
Right.
And even got me a private signing with Haku.
That's awesome. He really is a
I mean-
great guy. You know him better than we do.
Yeah,
because you've known him a
he's
while
awesome.
now.
I will tell you, there's 2 guys that should never, ever, ever be on the super ticket ever again. Love them both.
Yep.
They're both great. They're fun. They're almost too fun to be on the super ticket. And that's John Nord and Ricky Morton. They
talked to everyone.
They interacted, like over-interacted with everybody to the point where they held up the line for everybody that was behind them.
Yep.
It's like everybody was stuck behind them.
Yeah. Sunday was a lot quicker than Saturday.
Everywhere else. Yeah.
And they put on a good. Everybody that helped out between Marty's daughter, his wife, his sister.
They're all
the
great.
other guys that were helping running the super ticket rooms with the microphones and getting everybody in lines.
The people where you picked up your materials, there were a couple guests
at the registration desk. What's that guy's name, Dave? Do you know him? The guy with the red shirt.
Is it Joe?
Yeah.
Is it Joe or Steve?
I forget his name.
I should know because
I should know too.
Facebook.
Great guys, man.
Yeah.
They really are.
But there were a few guests that didn't make it due to unforeseen circumstances, and they were great with either replacing or offering money back. I didn't really take much money back. I didn't feel comfortable. They did a good enough job that.
So we didn't have Tonga Kid.
Right.
Who else?
The Demolition and
Powers of Pain.
And,
which really bummed me out because I really wanted my picture with Mass Superstar.
Well, I wanted to do the picture with Crusher Khrushchev and Nikita Koloff, the Russians. But what I did was, you turn lemons and turn them into lemonade. So I grabbed one of the pictures they had. It was Nikita Koloff and Baron von Raschke.
Right.
So I got them both to sign it. And then I'm like, all right.
He was awesome.
So instead of getting money back for not having Crusher Khrushchev, me and Nikita, we really dolled up our photo op.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I grabbed the chain, wrapped around my hand, and I had it ready to go. And he had the U.S. title going, not this U.S. title, but so then I posted, I'm challenging him to a Russian street fight tonight.
Nice.
8 o'clock.
So you got this signed by a lot of guys.
Yeah, this is the WCW U.S. title. I had it signed while we were down there by Shane Douglas.
Yep.
Who held the belt. It's signed by. They're not going to be able to zoom in on any of this, I'm sure. But we got Scott Hall. We got Jeff Jarrett.
Lex.
Shane Douglas. Booker T. Bret the Hitman Hart. Lex Luger. Rick Steiner. Sting. And Kevin Nash. Even though Kevin Nash wasn't U.S. title.
I was going to say.
However, I went to a signing with Nash and Hall. As Hall was signing it, Nash just reached down and signed it.
Whatever.
I didn't stop him. I'm like, all right. I mean, but
no one will remember if he really
pretty
wanted
good.
or not. You can always just tell people he didn't. They'll
Absolutely.
believe you.
Now, there's still room for Scott Steiner, Raven, Sid Vicious, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah. I'd like to see
Steamboat.
the Steiners there next year.
Oh,
that would be incredible.
They're going to be at Zombie Hideout in March.
And where is that going to be? Do you know? Is that
That's
New York?
in Springfield.
Mass?
Yeah. Bill Bullock brings in some people. He brought in Kane again. A few weeks back. And
now, is that like TV show people too, like people from the walk-in? Is that like a Comic-Con or is that just?
No. He's got a store that has get all
so he's
kinds
just bringing
of
him into
comic
a
book
store.
store type thing. He brings people in. He's bringing in DiBiase in November. David Faustino from Married Children in October.
Wow.
He's bringing in Danhausen. He's bringing in. He brings all kinds of people.
Danhausen, he cracks me up, man.
He's bringing in Jesse Ventura next March.
We talked about
so I
Jesse.
can get one of his books
man,
and sign that.
I talked to you guys on the way up about what I had heard of him and him saying about Tito.
Yeah.
And Tito's book, Jesse wrote the foreword or something like that. Or vice versa.
I didn't get Tito's book.
But man, it was real, just the way how highly he talked to Tito. About him and how Tito was so happy that Jesse actually made him money by calling him Chico. Isn't that crazy?
Tater boy. He's sneaky. He'll do anything.
I love Jesse.
WrestleMania
3-4. And his tag team back in the day with Adrian Adonis was awesome. And that's how they first came to WWE. They were wrestled as singles, but they had just left as a tag team in the AWA when they came to the WWF.
I was a huge Adonis fan. I thought him and Murdoch. I love them.
For his size, how he got so big, that guy could still work.
Yeah.
One of the best big, seriously, after like near the end of his career, how big he got. He was phenomenal.
And he dropped a lot of weight.
Yes.
Before, he was coming back before he died.
And he died in that horrible car accident. Yeah. In Canada, right? That was in Canada. But so Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday was our last day there.
Yeah.
Actually, I actually got up fairly earlier that day and had breakfast. I actually had breakfast. I had breakfast Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
It was late Saturday, though. I went in just almost 11 o'clock when I had breakfast on Saturday.
Before we move to Sunday,
Yeah.
Elio, did you guys want to talk about the wrestling show from Saturday night?
Yes, please.
Yeah, what do you got? No.
What do you got?
Unfortunately, I wasn't feeling so well Saturday night, so I unfortunately had to leave when the matches started.
We've been doing nothing but teasing Dave all ever since that happened, that he wasn't with us.
My favorite match was
sorry,
Rachel Ellering versus Camille.
That was the main event. Right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
They
So
had
what was the last
afterwards?
match?
It was T-Mott's guy. God, I forget his name against.
Oh yeah, like
I wasn't there at the end. I had left.
It's for some title, and they.
it was the T-Mart title. Yeah.
Yeah, the T-Mart title, and the other guy won. Tony counted him out. Then Tommy Young came in.
Yeah.
And said that they cheated and restart the match. He overruled Tony Stevens, so they restarted the match, and T-Mott's guy won.
They overruled
yeah.
Tony Stevens. What was he
Yeah.
out there throwing names out there? Is that why they got rid of Tony Stevens?
No
Dropping
nonsense,
names?
Tony. Yeah.
Dropping names, Tony? Is that why they got you out of that match? I don't know if you guys were there at the APW match, though, that went on. I probably not. Somebody had a retirement match, that's all I'll say. Okay. And then they threw Tony out of the ring and they let Sonny be the referee.
Oh, yeah.
But it was so funny the way they did it. You're not needed anymore. Get out. I said, you guys shouldn't have even, they told them that it was gonna. I said, you shouldn't have told him. You should have just did it. That would have been hilarious. But that was it was a great show.
Yeah.
Didn't
Was
Tommy,
Sam Houston wrestled?
Yes.
and didn't Tommy Young referee? I
Yep.
know you mentioned he came out over, but he
He
refereed,
refereed
tag
the
team
George
match.
South match,
Yeah,
right?
George.
It was George South and Kobe Carino
He did the tag match, right? That
yeah,
was like the first-
against, who would they take on again?
Wasn't it the Mortons?
Ricky
The
Morton.
Mortons.
and
Yeah.
son.
George South is unbelievable.
Yeah.
One of the nicest guys to meet, one of the best guys just to talk to.
He was in heel mode Saturday night,
Oh,
though.
yeah.
He called us fat pigs and
Fat
everything.
pigs, and,
Oh.
what are you doing there? You're ugly.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
he was going off.
Yeah.
I loved it, man.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was funny. And then someone would, yell back at him, and there'd be Kobe Carino ready to come outside the ring to beat your head in. I like Kobe Carino, too. He's a really good wrestler, man. Yeah. He looks just like his dad facial.
Yeah.
Like my son looks like me. Kobe looks just like Steve. Just like him.
Sounds like Ricky Morton's son looks like him as much.
He looked a
Well,
little,
yeah,
but
I
I think he
But
probably...
you never know. They like I said, I always thought like Barry Windham looked nothing like Blackjack Mulligan
Until he got older.
But when he was young, and then as Barry Windham got older, he's
Yeah.
a spitting image of Blackjack
Absolutely.
Mulligan.
Absolutely.
They look exactly alike.
From sitting with them at the banquet, I thought seeing Kerry up close, that because I used to think the same thing. Like he doesn't look like him, but seeing him up close, I felt like he did look.
Oh, really?
somewhat-
Yeah, you think so? Yeah. That's cool.
Especially if you look back to what Ricky, looked like back when he was that age.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a shame that Hoot can't wrestle. I guess he must have injuries or whatever because he teamed with his son and not Robert Gibson. Hoot. That's Robert Gibson's nickname.
Yeah.
If you knew that. Hoot. Yeah.
Hoot.
Hoot. Everybody calls him a Hoot. Not me. But I like his friends. I'm not his friend. I'm barely your friend.
Then they had Jackie Fulton. Jackie Fulton wrestled.
Yes. He did good too.
Yeah,
he
Bobby
really
in his
did.
corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so Lattimore versus
Oh, that
Nick
was a
Aldis.
good match.
That
Yeah,
was a
that
great
was a
match.
really good match.
Yeah.
Nick won that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good match. Thomas Latimer, that was Bram
Thomas Latimer.
in Impact, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really
Yeah.
good.
Nick Aldis was fun to meet too. He's a nice guy.
I had talked to him the year before when
Me
they
too.
added him. And I remember telling him, you're doing great things with that belt. He's like, thank you. I'm like, it's the truth. I mean, nobody would even know about that belt, man, if it wasn't for Nick Aldis holding it and, and defending it in that NWA Power show.
Yeah.
Good show.
Yeah, because when I did my pad, I brought the belt with me, and I held it on the wrong arm, so you could barely see it in the pic. I'm like, what an idiot I am. It's like, what the hell? I
That's all right.
should have just maybe turned more something metal, but because he went to sign it, I'm like, oh yeah, you already signed it in the back.
Right.
That was like last year when he first saw it, he was like blown away by because he saw Ric Flair, Harley Race, Tommy
Right.
Rich, and Terry Funk all signed it. So he was like,
The only thing I think we'd agree on that kind of stunk is when you're going through a line and you got a guy with 30 items.
Yeah.
And they're letting the guy sign all 30 of them while, it's 20, 30, 40 people are lining up behind him.
Right.
But they learned. They said that next year, they'll let him get the 2 signed, and then they're going to have to wait.
Right.
They're going to have
well,
to wait.
my thinking is, first of all, not to take anything away from a guy that's that dedicated by 30 items.
Absolutely.
You should reward him by give him a private signing with them all.
However,
he deserves it because, that's dedication.
There was one guy that was I forget who it was with. Me and April were in line behind him, and he was getting the autograph signed. And then when they signed it, he would take a picture with his phone.
Yeah.
So obviously he was reselling them all, and I feel like that's again something that.
Yeah.
And it's no fault against the people running the whole event. They're trying to just please
Is it the
everybody.
guy with a jean jacket on?
I can't even remember offhand. I just remember seeing.
There was a lot of guys that had a lot of multiple things. There was one guy, he had like the extensions.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right? You seen that, right?
Yeah,
he didn't have much hair up here, but he had lots of hair down here.
Show me, yeah.
Yeah. He was a good guy, though. I talked to him a few times. He was nice, but he had a lot of stuff to get signed. And I think he was doing that, taking pictures of everything because, like you said, he's going to sell it.
So wrong.
And I don't want to sell them. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I do my merchandising and at a show and somebody wants to buy the magazine that has Baron von Raschke, I'm not going to not sell it. You know what I mean? But I'm not out there to sell. I'm not getting these magazines to turn around and sell.
Yeah.
If I happen to go to a show and bring it, then I'll sell it. But I'm not looking to have everything I got signed.
When I meet anybody, I always make it out. Can you make it out to Damon?
Right.
And I always have to I spell it out because I don't want them to mistake me and write David on it or something.
I hear you.
Then I have to just give it to you.
I used to do that with Sarah, and I used to always have to say no H.
I
Because
have them all
everybody wants to
personalized.
put the H at the end.
Right. I want them all personalized because I have no interest in selling
Well,
them.
I hear exactly.
Yeah, I did
Unless
the
it's
same.
like an item like this, because having 8 people write 2 Damon on it.
Yeah. No, that's kind of silly. Yeah.
Or if it's a tag team, just have one of them write to Damon.
Right, but I mean, someday, you know what I mean? If you leave it to your son and he wants to sell it.
My son.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it'd be more likely my grandkids because my son, for some reason,
Doesn't like
hates
wrestling,
sports.
Really?
He couldn't be more opposite.
Yeah.
Love him more than
Right,
anything.
of course.
But he's not a sports fan at all.
Wow.
So there's a good chance my grandkids probably be sports fans.
Yeah.
So it's they'll be going to them.
Nice. Yeah, my son. My son loves hockey like me, and it's just so awesome to, you know what I mean, to like see the love that he has for hockey and know that it totally came from me.
No.
You know, all my kids love hockey. They know I love wrestling. When they were younger, Mike liked wrestling. He would come to shows with me. When I would go to to WWF shows back in the day when Elizabeth was little, she'd come. But I didn't take her to many independent shows. Like I took Mike, Sarah, and Jaiza. They all went to, like almost every show I ever went to, I brought one kid at least.
Yeah.
You know? Because, I mean, the age differences. I mean, Jai and Sarah probably went to more shows than Mike and Sarah. Do you know what I mean? Because of the age difference. And, I mean, Sarah's only not even 6 years older than Jaiza. You know, so we used to have a lot of fun going to shows and meeting people.
That's why I really wish I discovered indie wrestling earlier than I did.
Yeah.
I did a lot of wasted years because it's so much better
It is.
than what you see on TV.
I would like to think that all three of us are that too.
Okay.
We would much rather go to an indie show than a WWE
I like
show.
going something with like 100 people.
Me too.
That's it.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, where everybody's involved too.
like the Survivor Series coming in November. Who cares?
Yeah,
I have no
exactly.
interest. I'd rather watch it on TV where the bathroom's 10 feet away.
Right.
You know, and
I would definitely though go to like NXT again if they came around. I would only because that's the show I watch every week, no matter what.
Yeah.
I watch NXT. Why? Come on.
I mean, you know, some give and
Carmelo
take.
Hayes.
Here he goes dropping names again.
Josh Briggs.
Yeah,
Tony.
yeah,
Tony
that's
S. Josh Briggs, Anthony Green. Say it, Dave. John Cena.
John Cena Sr.
Drop some names, Dave, for me. Come on, David.
Oh, yeah,
Drop a
well,
name.
obviously, Carmelo Hayes.
Anthony.
But there's also, well, no, Only
Green?
Wilkins gone. Yeah, Anthony Green.
Dave dropping names.
we gotta
David's
bring him
dropping
back.
names.
WWE should bring him back.
Yep.
They dropped the ball.
I honestly and truthfully, when AEW started signing all these guys right away, remember when they started
Stokely
then?
Hathaway.
Yeah.
He's down with AEW.
He's
but,
incredible.
Stokely Hathaway.
Yeah.
He's you know, I
Great
met him a
manager.
bunch of times in the Indies.
Great manager.
Yeah.
But I'm really surprised that they didn't grab AG.
Right.
One of the most creative guys in the matches.
Yeah.
That balloon thing that he just grabbed. He saw the balloon and just grabbed it And it pretty much, I don't know if it went viral, but I know a lot of people saw that video. You know? And remember and then he dove through the ropes. It was just crazy, man. He's a very creative guy, AG. And he was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But luckily for him,
he got an opportunity in Japan that, you know.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. Very happy.
I mean, didn't Indy wrestle for Noah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pro wrestler Noah.
And Anthony Green, you know, every time I see him, he asks, first thing he says to me, how are you guys doing? You know?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Residents, you know, and
he cares. He really does care.
Yeah. And Casanova, I'm sorry, Carmelo Hayes says the same thing. He goes, how are you guys? You know, how's Paul? You know?
Yep.
That's
cool.
Always asks,
Isn't that who you talked to the other day? It was Paul, right?
That's what, he
I hit
called.
Damon on the phone. I'm like, hey, what's up, Paul?
Well,
I knew exactly who you were talking to. I met Paul.
Yeah. You met Austin,
too. At the, what was that? Liberty States. That was the night I gave Todd Sopel a bunch of crap from the front row. Oh, it was awesome. I love doing that.
Yeah.
I'm an ass.
Definitely.
But, yeah.
So what would you guys say if you had to pick one moment from the weekend? And I know for me it's hard. Would you say it was the one thing that you enjoyed the most out of the whole weekend? For me, it was that drive home. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't the drive home or the drive
Sorry
up.
about Hardee's. I'm sorry you didn't like it as much as I did.
Leo's favorite restaurant, Hardee's. But
I love their burgers. I couldn't believe you didn't like it.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
I will give kudos to Damon, though. He was a warrior all weekend. He did the drive all the way down, drive all the way back. And the drive back, we went straight through, so I
kind of had no choice. I'm the only name on the rental.
Yeah, well, that too.
Right. It was a lot of fun.
You guys were out like lights.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I kept like
falling
asleep,
the wrong way.
wake up, and then you'd be like, shit.
The wrong road.
I mean, like missed the street.
Yeah.
I'm in the back, sleeping almost the whole time. It was fun, though.
Yeah.
And thank you for driving,
Absolutely.
David. I really, really appreciate that. You know, my favorite thing from the weekend was obviously getting to see Stan Hansen again and getting him to sign the photo of us. But Baron and Ken Patera, to me, were just so awesome to everyone. Like when I was in line waiting to meet, just the interaction that they had with everybody. And you could see that they really were happy to be there. And I had heard and even seen interviews with Ken Patera before where he wasn't that nice. But man, he really was nice this whole weekend. And so wasn't Baron.
Yeah.
You know? Sitting with Kevin Sullivan was a lot of fun too. A lot of fun.
Yeah, mine, sitting with Jeff Jarrett, breakfast with Bobby Fulton and Stan Hansen and Jimmy Garvin. Nice. Another one I talked to for probably about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. George South, too, but also Savannah Evans from Impact Wrestling.
Sorry,
they brought her in. And we talked for a while. She's a sweetheart. She's, it was, tell how much I enjoy Impact. Because I do. I like as much as the other shows. And, we were talking about, Tasha Steeles, how she was from around here for the longest time as chaotic champion. And,
Potter killed
had a nice conversation. She was really nice.
And it was nice because I think she's going out with Chris Hero, and he showed up later just to, probably support her. Great to see him.
No, is Rachel Allen going?
Who are you talking about? I thought you were talking about Rachel. I'm sorry.
Savannah Evans.
Oh, Savannah Evans.
Evans. Yeah.
But yeah, Rachel.
She's the one that's in Tasha Steele's corner. It's on Impact Wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, she's a powerhouse.
Yeah, definitely a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Big girl.
Rachel Allen, I've met a couple of times.
Yeah, so it was great. Like I said, it was great to see Chris Hero there, get to say hi to him and stuff. I met him a bunch of times. Just a good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say for me it was the banquet, obviously, sitting with Ricky Morton and his son. I'd say also the just the chance to have the interaction with all the wrestlers, just in a regular, when the show wasn't going on, just the interaction we had. And then I'd also have to say, just meeting so many fans that have the same passion that all three of us have.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of people, wind up with a lot of at least new Facebook friends that next year you'll remember the faces and be like, oh yeah. It's like as I say, it's like a big family there, and it really is. It really is.
I met a bunch of guys. The guy that signed the baseballs has the baseball sign. David, he told me that I should bring up Chris Benoit and Nancy at the table with Kevin Sullivan. I said no. He actually handed Kevin Sullivan a baseball and asked him to sign it. I'm innocent.
No.
Dave.
I hope he got punched in the face.
He didn't. He didn't. But he had to get his friend to go get anything to get signed by Kevin Sullivan, though, because Kevin Sullivan wanted to kill him. Yeah. That's what he said, at least.
Yeah.
But getting to meet everybody, like I said, was fantastic.
Yeah.
With me having a show, I had people telling me, hey, Leo, and have no idea who they are, dude. I got like 4,000 Facebook friends. I don't know. I can't remember everybody's name. It's really hard, you know?
Well, you remember Raymond at least now?
Yeah.
Yes, Raymond, yeah. Yeah, and Arthur, too.
I'd love to see Raymond's collection.
Oh.
Man, wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
no doubt.
like I said, last year with
His collection's
DiBiase.
got to be gigantic.
Yeah, he had like probably 30, 40 things signed by DiBiase alone. So he made Lucky Pro's whole weekend. You know? So it's like.
Well, and you always say how you're going to have to buy a bigger house soon.
Yeah.
Because
put up all my crap.
You got no place to put anything.
Run out of room. And I frame everything.
I know
Every
you do.
return I get from a wrestler, indie or WWE, wherever, I frame it.
That's awesome, dude.
I go to Walmart, get the frames for like $2.46. Although now the dollar store, I guess, has them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the dollar store has now gone up to the $1.25 store, which I got no problem with. That's fine.
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
You got to eventually.
Yeah, they
got to
make
go
money.
up.
It's all
Before you know it, it's going to be the $2 store. That's what it's probably going to be. I'd say within a year, it's going to go up to $2
Probably.
because everything's just climbing.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Unfortunately.
They told me where I live now, where I pay $1,745 for my rent. Next year, if I want to live there, it's going to be $2,100. So I already told them I won't be living here next year.
Yeah, I get it.
I just say, don't blame me. I voted for Trump.
I hear you. You people get mad all they want, but what good is Sleepy Joe doing for anybody? Honestly.
Yes.
What's he doing? Nothing.
Yes. But
Nothing. They kept Brittany Griner. If let me tell you something. What do you think if Donald Trump was president and the Russians held Brittany Griner?
He'd have got her out.
He would have got her out of here already, right?
Yeah.
She would be back home in the United States already. I do believe that.
Yep.
You call me stupid,
Well,
you
they're
call me
not-
whatever you want, but I believe that.
They wouldn't be feuding with Russia right now because he was on good terms with Putin.
Because people are afraid of Trump.
Yeah.
They think he's crazy. Because he is crazy.
You want somebody that's crazy.
Exactly.
On our side.
Yes.
You know?
I just wanted to thank you guys because I know we're almost out of time here. So I just want to thank you guys for bringing me along. I had a fantastic time. Great to travel with you guys. So easy going. You know, couldn't ask for better people to
And
travel.
come next year, please, because you're awesome to travel with.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very
Yeah.
easy to travel with.
You guys are the best,
So are
man.
you.
Thank you.
I hope I am too.
Oh, you
yes,
are, dude.
please.
You're awesome, man. I mean,
thanks.
my permanent roommate, too. He already told me, he goes, whenever we go anywhere, you're my roommate. It's because we're the, you know, we do. We keep
all
the
the
room
same
clean.
interests. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But Damon, thanks, brother. Again, we'll be going
Thanks,
next
Leo.
year. Dave, brother, glad to bring you around. Guys, that's it.
That's it.
From the Ring and All of Sports, about the Gathering 3. We're out. Peace. Hi, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show. Listen, I could use a little help to grow my YouTube channel. So if you could please like, share, and subscribe. That's most importantly, subscribe. Send me a direct message, and I'll give you a shout out here on the show. My YouTube channel is real simple. It's just my name, Leo Connors. Thanks in advance. Peace.